Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show, the place for song, story, musicology, and more. This week, Klezmer Hanukkah Gollum. Let's get started. Well, happy Hanukkah, everyone, and I hope you're enjoying your holiday. And I wanted to kind of weave a story of Jewish culture and Hanukkah and what it means and why it's still with us today. What's interesting is we celebrate the victory of the Maccabees and the miracle of the oil lamps. What I find really unique about Jewish culture is the stories. The stories and traditions thrive under different cultures, different politics, different nations. There's still that unique identity and thread of existence that's uniquely Jewish. So I can explain Hanukkah music. It's something that you'll hear uniquely that's Jewish. A lot of times it has clarinet in it, which I'm kind of picking up and learning. I heard somebody describe it accurately once, saying that it's a sad and funny music, which is ironically true. It is sad and funny. And I think it's that balance of existence between, I guess, happiness and tragedy that can kind of define a people. Yeah, I could point to different examples of Jewish music, of course. And, there's a lot of great writers and show tunes and musicals. I think for everybody that listens to rock out there, I could just point to Supertramp. Breakfast in America. If you hear the breakdown in that song, it is totally a klezmer thing going on with that. Really cool. And you've probably heard it 100 times if you've listened to rock radio and maybe you didn't realize that. And then it's like I guess klezmer is not defined by pop stardom or its, presence on the radio. Although I would point out one exception in the 20th century. It is kind of felt throughout music and throughout European traditions of music. And one such song was Bei Mir Bist du Schön, which was actually the miracle of the Jewish people thriving under the oppression in Germany, if you want to look at that. This was a song that became a hit in 1938. I mean, think about where the country was at that time. And some were considering the Yiddishness of the song as kind of a Southern German dialect. That's what my notes say. It's very much a Yiddish song, and I guess the authorities found out that, hey, we're not, really trying to broadcast klezmer music right now. And they took it off the airwaves. But it was actually a hit by the Anderson sisters in the United States, and there's been many versions of it in English, Russian, and Yiddish. And it's just a fun little song. So how did the Gollum get in here? I wanted to try to tie in other miracles, like Gollums, for instance. I mean, I know it sounds kind of silly, but what kid wouldn't want to hear a Gollum story on Hanukkah? I ask you that. It's pretty great. I think it, in a way, is maybe one of our first science fiction stories, and points to some ideas like robotics, maybe artificial intelligence, something alien about it. Some have compared the story as being a Jewish Frankenstein story. I think there's a lot of similarities. In this movie that came out in 1920 in Germany, Der Gollum, it involved a rabbi, his daughters, and the king's son. So yeah, you can kind of see some of the complexities of that. What happened was there was a curse that would happen while the rabbi, he was entertaining the king, and if one was to laugh during the story, he warned them that there would be consequences. And so somebody was laughing as he was telling the story of the wandering Jew, and the castle, it started to rumble and it started to shake, and the walls were breaking, and the columns started to fold under. And kind of in a reverse way of the story of Samson, the rabbi commands the golem to hold the columns and keep the castle from collapsing, and it actually saves everyone. And this put the rabbi in good favor, and he was trying to gain favor with the king because he had this vision that his village would be destroyed. And there was a relationship of the king's son and the daughter and all of that. You'll have to watch the movie to get the ending of that. It is a bit like Frankenstein. What's cool is how these cultures intertwine, how you even have the Jewish story of the golem and the rabbi with the king. He's trying to find a way to save his people. So it's, again, the Jews have wandered, and they're in a land that's foreign to them. They were in a land of Germany that was very much their home, but in many ways it was foreign to them. And they were treated like foreigners. So I think that the parallels of being a foreigner, an immigrant, and being able to thrive under this adversity is very much in keeping with the Hanukkah miracle and that thread of history that goes throughout the Jewish people. So that's what I wanted to share, tie in the story of the golem and of the Hanukkah miracle, and share with you this song, Bei Mir Bist. I hope you enjoy it.
Bei Mr. Shane, please let me explain. Bei Mr. Shane means that you're grand. Bei Mr. Shane, please let me explain. It means you're the grandest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wonderbar. Each language helps me say how grand you are. Bei Mr. Shane, I've tried to explain, so kiss me and say you understand. So kiss me and say you understand. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wonderbar. Each language helps me say how grand you are. Bei Mr. Shane, I've tried to explain, so kiss me and say you understand. So kiss me and say you understand.
And if you're interested in my instruments, you can take a look. This is actually a restored Normandy clarinet. It's in really good condition, the restoration work. And I play a few woodwinds and brass instruments, and this was something really special to get me into the holiday spirit in Klezmer. So anyway, check it out, and I'll see you next time on the Stanford Lee Show.